Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to make a cowl. As you've seen in the thumbnail, this is called the double dip cowl, and it is to go with the double dip beanie. And for today's tutorial, I am using Premier Basics Marl. Now that'll match the beanie, so it'll be a complete set that will be going into my bag for Bumblebee Mountain Outreach. If you'd like to know more about that particular outreach and K&K Crochet, you can check out the description below where I have her channel linked. All right, back to this. I am using the Marl, and it is a worsted 245 yards. It is, and let's see, was made in Turkey. And the colorway is Rose Quartz Marl. I absolutely love this. So the actual suggested hook size is a 5.5. I will be going with a 6. Now, for this, you won't need more than one skein. We're going to go ahead and chain 60 chains. So we're going to place a slip knot on our hook and chain 60. Now, if you would like to start with a double crochet foundation row, you are more than welcome to do so. That is the direction we are headed. You will need a total of 60 double crochets and join in the round. Entirely up to you. I will be working in the back loop only for my double crochet round. Now you'll also need a pair of scissors, a darning needle to sew in your ends, and a stitch marker to mark the end and beginning of your rounds, because we will be working in the round. So again, I'm just going to chain a total of 60 chains, and then I will connect without twisting my chain in the round. I'll meet back up with you once I have reached the 60th chain. All right, so I have my 60 chains. I'm going to connect in the round by slip stitching to that very first chain. Get my tail out of the way here. All right, so we are working in the back bumps of our chain. So you have the front of your chain, which looks like little V's, and then you have the back, which looks like a spine, like a vertebrae. And we will be working into those back bumps. So going into your very first stitch, we're going to create a mock double crochet. If you choose to chain up the normal for you 2 chains or 3 chains to begin your round, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm showing you my preferred method. I'm going to zoom in so that way you can see exactly how I do it, and it'll be how I start every double crochet round. So for the mock double crochet, you're going to pull up a loop about the size of a double crochet. So to that height. You're going to place your finger on that loop on your hook and hold it tight. We're going to bring our crochet hook towards us, down and under that loop, continuing to hold what we have here. Then we're going to go into that back loop, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook, still holding that very first loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. Then yarn over and pull through those last 2. Now that loop that you were holding, the top of that loop, is the top of your mock double crochet. Place a stitch marker into that loop. Now you have a completed mock double crochet. Now we're going to go ahead and place 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. When you get to the end, you should have a total of 60 double crochets. Now I'm going to go ahead and complete my 60 double crochets off camera, because we're just doing this repeat here of 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. All right, now that you have your 60 double crochets or multiples of 2, we're going to slip stitch to the very first stitch to join in the round here. So we're joining those double crochets in the round, and now we're going to create our few rows of ribbing, and it's going to be a front post, back post, 1 by 1 ribbing. Now, as I said, I start every double crochet round exactly the same. I am going to pull up a loop to do a mock double crochet, but when I do it, I am going to create a front post mock double crochet, so that way we continue with the same look all the way around. So here I have my loop. I'm going to create the mock double crochet front post. So I'm going behind that post. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and finish that mock double crochet. Place my stitch marker at the top of it. And now I have my first stitch as a double crochet, a front post double crochet. Now the next stitch is a back post. Just like that. So you're going to do a front post, back post all the way around, and we're going to connect in the exact same way with a slip stitch to the very first stitch and start the next round exactly the same. So rounds 2 and 3 are front post, back post, 1 by 1 ribbing, and at the end of round 3 you should still have 60 stitches or your multiples of 2, and I'll meet back up with you at that point. All right, let's begin round 4. I'm going to end round 3 by slip stitching to that very first stitch. All right, round 4, we're going to half double crochet into that same stitch. So I'm just going to yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and go through all 3. I'm going to place a stitch marker right at that top loop, which will indicate the top of the half double crochet. The next stitch is a slip stitch, then a half double crochet into the next stitch, and that's your repeat around. We're gonna slip stitch into the next, half double crochet into the following. You should end your round with a slip stitch. I'll meet up with you at the end of the round. All right, once you've made it to the end of round 4, we're going to slip stitch to that very first stitch, like such. And now we're going to do the reverse or opposite of what you did prior. So this is a half double crochet. It was our first stitch. So we're going to slip stitch into that stitch, and I'm going to place my stitch marker at that point, indicating that it is my first stitch. Next was a slip stitch, so we need to place a half double crochet into that stitch. And then we're on repeat. Slip stitch to the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch. Here we go. Slip stitch, half double, and we're going to complete this all the way around. Once you have made it to the end, you're going to slip stitch to your very first stitch, which was a slip stitch. That means your last stitch should be a half double crochet. When you've reached the end, you should still have 60 stitches. I'll meet up with you at the end for round 6. All right, so I'm coming to the end of round 5, and we're going to begin round 6. So slip stitch. We still have 60 stitches, and we're going to move on to round 6. Round 6 is our stacked double crochets. So if you've made the hat, you kind of already have an idea as to what we're doing here. If you have not made the hat slash beanie, what we're doing is we need to work up to the height of 2 rows of double crochets. So we're going to do 2 rounds in this case. We're going to do 2 rounds of double crochets all in one pass. So to get to that height, what we're going to do is chain 1 and single crochet into that first stitch. Okay, now we're going to do 3 more single crochets stacked on top of each other. So we have the top loop of our single crochet, and then we have this one here just below it. That's the one we're going into. So let me get something to show you real quick. So this is the top of the single crochet stitch, and this would be the side of that stitch. So just below your working yarn, this stitch here. We're going to be going into that one. Okay, so you're just going to insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now you're set up to do a single crochet. Now, when you yarn over and pull through, this might help you find that stitch a little bit better. When you yarn over and pull through, when you go to make your next stitch, this is the one that you're going to be working into. So you have your loop that you pulled up when you completed your single crochet. Then now we have the loop that we just pulled from that side part of the stitch here. So then I'm going to yarn over, and you can watch it happen. So we're going to go through those 2 stitches. There's that one, which is the side of the stitch. And here's this one, which is the top of the stitch. So now we're going to single crochet back into that side by going into the side, yarning over, pulling up a loop. And here we go. We're completing that. So now we have a total of 1, 2, 3. We need 1 more. Go into the side, yarn over, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Now I am going to place my stitch marker at the top, that very top loop that we made, because that is the top of our very first set of 2 double crochets stacked by doing that. And now I'll show you how to end this round and join together so you don't have this big old gap in the middle. All right, are we ready to begin our stacked double crochets? We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3 stitches. Or if you're counting from the bottom, you have 1 and 2. So we're going to that second single crochet, the side of that single crochet. You're going to go into that, yarn over, and go straight to the next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That is your first stacked double crochet after your chain, or after your stack of single crochets here. All right, so let's do the next one. If you look, we have this bar that goes across right here. If you will, just below it is where we're going into, just below it, right there. So we have 1 loop and 2 loops. We want to go into that second one. So here we go. We're going to yarn over. We're going to come down. We're going to go into that loop on the side of that double crochet, yarn over, and go directly into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And here you can see that bar is created again. That's the top of the double crochet, the first set of double crochets. All right, so you're going to continue working that all the way around. You will have 60 stacked double crochets when you reach the end, and you will slip stitch to the top single crochet here that we made to begin the round. But let me show you how to complete so we connect to those single crochets as we go. I'll meet up with you to do 60 together. All right, I just finished my 59th stacked double crochet. We need to join to the very first one, which was all 4 single crochets. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go ahead and begin exactly like we've been doing. Yarn over, go into that second loop here at the bottom of that double crochet, yarn over, and go into our next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through 2. But now we need to connect to complete the first row of double crochets. So we have 1V and 2V. That's the side of those single crochets. We're going to go into that second one. So go into the second one, yarn over and pull a loop through, and then go through 2 more. That will complete the first row of double crochets. You just join them together. Now we're going to yarn over, go through 2, but now we need to join the top of our second row of double crochets. So I'm going to pop that stitch marker off, insert my hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through it. So like slip stitching it. And then we're going to pull through the last 2. Now we have joined the last stacked double crochet to the very first stitch of the round. All right, let's move on to the next round. You should have a total of 60 stacked double crochets. We're going to go back. Now you can repeat rounds 4, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 if you would like to again. That's perfectly okay, depending on the height that you want. For the sake of this tutorial and the height that I like, I'm going to do a reverse starting now. So if I was to work backwards. All right, so I have the half double crochet slip stitch rounds, 2 of those, where you do a half double crochet to start. So we're going to half double crochet back into that same stitch, place our stitch marker, and slip stitch to the next stitch. Half double crochet into the next, slip stitch into the next. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. And I'll meet up with you at the end of this round to show you how to join and work the following round. All right, let's begin the next round, which is the opposite of what you just did. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to that first stitch, right like that. And I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch. That is our first stitch of the round, our slip stitch. There we go. And then we half double crochet into the next stitch. If I can get my hook not to be in my project. There we are. Well, I want the hook in the project. It's the other end that was stuck. All right. And slip stitch to the next stitch. So half double crochet and slip stitch. Again, you should have a total of 60 stitches all the way around. When you get to the end, you should end with a half double crochet and slip stitch to your very first stitch. I'll meet up with you at that point. All right, so now I've made it to the end, double checked my stitches, still at 60 stitches, slip stitching to that very first stitch to complete the round. Now we're going to do our 1x1 ribbing. We're going to start it with a double crochet round. So once again, a mock double crochet into that stitch that we just slip stitched to. Replace my stitch marker to the top of that stitch. And one double crochet in every stitch all the way around. 60 stitches when you reach the end. Then we will do 2 rounds of front post, back post, just as we did previously to complete this cowl. Go ahead and continue on with your ribbing. I am going to finish this off camera. There will be the final pictures you should have already seen in the thumbnail. So again, just finish your ribbing the same as you did to start the project. You're going to do a round of double crochets, 2 rounds of front post, back post. If you chose to do more, that's up to you. If you chose to make it taller, that's fine. Completely optional. Make this your own. Add more, subtract more, make it bigger, larger, taller, smaller, whatever have you. The end result is going to be your finished project and what you like. For me, this is what I'm showing. This is how I'm sharing it with you. You can do it however you so choose. All right, everyone. So that is the double dip cowl to match the double dip beanie. I will put a link down in the description box for Bumblebee Mountain Outreach, and there will also be a card at the end of this video that will take you over to the matching hat. So if you would like to make this a set and donate or keep or sell, whatever have you, you can make a matched set. All right, everyone, that is it for me today. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.